Such a great time on the Westward Bee live event. It was given by Todd, Brian, and also Charlie. Let's take a look at the highlights.
I've been using his product, now for about 2 months here in dry Colorado. I was super excited to get my hands on this product, and now I've got a couple of months of experience. Now I know you've had a little bit more experience because you were one of the beta testers for it.
Let's add Michael to the stage. Welcome, Michael. How are you?
Hey guys, good.
Initial launch, how many of your products have you gotten into people's hands?
Yeah, so I have 450 out. So basically I had the Kickstarter, and then after that I sold about 81 in June as a pre-order. Honestly, I'll never do a pre-order again, just because I always feel like a jerk because people are like, hey, I need to go inspect my bees and I don't have the smoker yet, and when am I going to get it? People were very excited about it, but at the same time, you're taking money before you give somebody value, so it felt kind of yuck. I've got 450 out in the wild right now. What's great about it is I'm getting a lot of feedback from people on not only which formulations are working, because again, I've got a lot of beta testers because all I have to do is send out different formulations to people. But beyond that, I'm also getting a lot of feedback on how the device is working. And there's been a couple of problems that we've had where we didn't see it in beta testing, but when you have 450, you start seeing some of these sort of more random issues.
I got mine about 2 months ago. I used my regular smoker for the first time the other day, only because my battery ran out on the Tech Bee smoker. And that was the first time the battery had run out in the 2 months that I had used it. So to get a sense, I run about 100 colonies, not very hot colonies. So I rarely use smoke when I'm working colonies, but here and there. I've loved it. I think it's super durable. It's very comfortable in the hand. It's not heavy. It stands very nice with the battery. As far as the form and function goes, it's really nice. I've dropped it a couple of times and had this piece go flying. I can't find the slot, but that part goes flying separate. It separates from it, and I pick it up thinking it's going to be busted, and they're fine. So it's a very durable product, and I'm not saying you should throw it around, but I've dropped it a couple of times and it's been okay.
This fell and it impacted, and then this flew off. So that's by design, right? So it's like a car crumpling. You need to put the power somewhere when you have this big impact. And so rather than using a clip on this, which would absorb the entire impact in the whole design, it pushes it apart. And a lot of the force goes into this guy flying away, right? It's designed for impact. I wouldn't do it on concrete a whole lot. I wouldn't do that with your drill either, right? It's built to take that impact and then disperse the force, right?
That makes a lot of sense. I know Charlie's got one as well. How are you feeling about yours, Charlie?
I love it. I mean, I use the Milwaukee, just a straight stick. The bigger one with the foot on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like that. And I like my hives right there behind me there. I'll just take and lay it over there on the opposite hive if I need it. And I'm not a big smoke user. I don't know what's the downtime cycle on that.
The timeout is about a minute. So if you run it for that long, then it'll actually stop for, I think it's 3 seconds. It's not very long. You could keep running it, which again, you don't want it to get too hot. It's probably a bit overcautious in some ways. I actually was showing this at the Midwest Bee Expo, and I handed it to a 10-year-old boy, right? I should have never done that. And the kid looks at his sister and he's like, her in the face, and then he's running around doing this and then it stops because he's running it too.
That would be the only complaint that I have, is I wish it would not time out. I'll call it. It would produce smoke for a little bit longer.
I haven't used it to the point where it's timed out like Charlie's described as well. So that hasn't been an issue for me.
As far as leakage, when people complain about leakage, is it where it's actually dripping out of the front all the time or something?
It drips out of the nozzle. Currently looks like this, where it has a hole in the front. The beta test ones that I had done, they had like a longer nozzle.
I was going to ask you about that longer nozzle. Are you going to come out with the directional nozzle?
Yeah, I'm actually beta testing right now with this. So this is just a part that I'm working with. You can see it fits onto here, right? It becomes like a smoker nozzle, right?
More of a straight stream.
Yeah, more of a focus beam, as they said in the chat, right? So you can do that, and then you can take it off, and it's a bit more of a, more cloudy.
Yeah.
This piece right now, it just fits in through friction. I'm thinking of having it clip onto the sides so that it doesn't fall off, because I have found with beekeepers that we all lose things in the bee yard, right? It just kind of falls somewhere, and they're like, I'll find it when I'm mowing the grass. And so I've got two different designs that I've been working on to improve on the leaking. There's the coil, right? And the coil, it has a wick, and the wick allows fuel to slowly leak, kind of drip through, because it's not viscous enough to hold in everything. So the wick kind of allows a few droplets to start coming in. I started out with the idea of, could I build this with solenoids or with a one-way valve? And unfortunately, with the one-way valve, there's not enough air pressure to push through it. And the solenoids, we'd have to have power inside of the tank, right? I was thinking about it, and I'm like, we've got a lot of heat that's being generated from the coil. This is just a feasibility study here, but what you can kind of see is this snaps open and closed. It's called a bimetallic actuator. And you see I'm using a heat gun and then a fan to show it moving. The bimetallic, it has two layers of metal that push on each other to open and close it. This one I call a collar, and it's the same concept where when the coil heats up, the collar actually opens, right? And so that's a heat gun. That's a fan that's cooling it down. You can kind of see it opening, and that would allow the liquid to come through when you're using it. But then when you're not using it, it would slowly close up.
Right? Oh, wow. That's crazy.
And so the idea is to enclose the whole thing. It's not in use. And then when it heats up, it just opens up like a flower, right?
Wow.
I'm serious. If I could have a belt with a holster on it where I can just stick it on my side, because I got pockets and all that, but they're full of stuff.
I've talked to some people, especially in like Texas. There's a lot of guys in Texas that want a holster. I think it's a cowboy thing.
Probably wants a badge as well. If you can get like a little star to pin on his shirt, that'd be great.
And a hat, a cowboy
hat. Have a Matt Dillon badge right here. It's a technical smoker.
Yeah, and it's like the special edition deputy set.
Yeah.
Get him a yellow cowboy hat too.
Yeah.
Ever since I built this, I've wanted to make a trigger guard for this so that I can just swing it around like a cowboy. But because it's magnetic, that doesn't work, right? Yeah. So that is the one thing that I'm like, I wish I would have put a clip on it instead. The reason that I didn't do a clip is because clips wear out in time, right? Whereas magnets are magnets.
Yep.
They never wear out.
I'm wondering, in the feedback loop with your customers, have you gotten any really interesting or cool ideas that you haven't thought of that you're considering in the evolution of the product?
Yeah, people are saying they want to control the amount of smoke. And what I'm thinking is maybe like a variable drill. You can press it, it goes faster. You press it less, and it goes slower. I was thinking maybe with the trigger, I could make it so that if you really pull on it, you get more smoke. If you just press on it just slightly, it gives just a smaller puff. There was also a mention about their fuel not lasting as long as they'd like it to.
Yeah.
Elizabeth. Yeah. So as far as Elizabeth's comment, like you were saying, the fuel actually, when it's not leaking, it lasts for a really long time. I think a lot of it has to do with, as it drips out, it uses a lot of fuel. But I think the reality is once we've gotten the leaking under control, you'll find that it really, the fuel lasts for a really long time.
Sure.
It's that leaking piece, right?
Yeah, I'll be honest, Michael, as a Kickstarter supporter, that's part of what I know I'm getting into as I'm getting in the, like not a first iteration of a product, but a first iteration of the product on the market. I get that it's not going to be perfect. And I'm excited about helping you improve your product to get it to as perfect as it can be, because living out west, I see the huge need for a product like that. Todd and I get it. Charlie's using it mostly for convenient, but I use it as something that I see as a safety issue. I go to management colonies where I have rich people that I'm taking care of their bees, and they're happy that I have this product.
It's like you say, Brian, I appreciate your generosity on that. Just that it is a V1 product, but at the same time, I would like it to be as good of a V1 product as possible. But yeah, so our next version, we're trying to improve those pieces. And I would say actually that tends to be 99% of the feedback is just the leaking, right? I will be going to North American Bee Expo, and I actually hope to have them built by then and selling at North American Bee Expo.
So it's your goal that people can walk away with the product at the Bee Expo for 2027.
Yep, with zero shipping. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I wish I wasn't losing out on this season, right? But at the same time, I really want to make sure that I fix as much as I possibly can between now and that time with the things that people are finding, because as you said, like, people have been super gracious about, oh, it leaks all over the place, but I love it. And so, yeah, but it leaks, right? So like, I need to fix that before I produce 1,000 more, right? Because I want it to be right. And as you probably noticed, like this to me is more about making beekeepers' lives better, not about like, how do I corner the market? It's like, you know, like with the fuel, I just tell people what's in it, right? It's a bad business move, but the next go around is going to be November, December, and I'll send out an email to that mailing list.
Say it again so I can type it. There you go. Boom.
Yeah. Yep. Vib.technicallybeekeeping.com. If you go there, it'll bring you to the right sign up list, and it just asks you some basic questions. But
good job sticking to it. We appreciate it.
So I appreciate, like, anytime that I hear somebody saying that they're enjoying it, it really brightens my day.
So that's the highlight reel. Check out the full discussion in the description below.